The Zeo Crystal is an extremely powerful tool that contains huge amounts of energy, becoming even stronger as time goes on. It is also, of course, the power source for the Zeo Rangers. It was made up of 5 sub-Zeo Crystals, which were essentially replacements for the power coins. The combined Zeo Crystal's power enabled the Rangers to access the morphing grid, granting them the powers of the Zeo Rangers. The origin of this incredibly great power source has always been somewhat of a mystery, but thanks to Boom Studios' fantastic comic book series, we now have a really cool origin story for it. So in today's video, I will first be covering the story of the Zeo Crystal as we know it from the show, and then if you stick around towards the end of the video, we will get into its origin. Trust me, it's a cool one. Let's get into it. So in the show, it's explained that the Zeo Crystal has been brought to the Earth's moon by an ancient race from the M51 galaxy. They hid the Zeo Crystal in the Caves of Deception located beneath the Moon Palace. To protect the Zeo Crystal from anybody who would try to harness its power for evil, mainly Master Vile, the denizens of the M51 galaxy surrounded the crystal in a force field that would destroy anybody that was not purely good who came into contact with it. Lord Zed was definitely aware of this, which led to Rita Repulsa to remark he tried to get the Zeo Crystal once, and look what happened to Zeddy's face. Again, this is something that the comics have touched on in recent issues, and it's been quite the twist. Anyway, knowing that Master Vile had plans for the crystal, Zordon asked the Rangers to acquire and destroy it. Tommy Oliver, the White Ranger, was able to successfully gain the Zeo Crystal and release it from the Caves of Deception. However, Master Vile managed to obtain the crystal briefly and used its powers to wage his war against the cities of Earth. However, the Power Rangers managed to break Vile's link to the crystal and retrieve it from him. Deciding that the Zeo Crystal had to be sent to a place where Master Vile could never find it, Tommy split the Zeo Crystal into its 5 sub-crystals with Saba. Zordon then teleported the sub-crystals through holes in time and space, sending them to various locations in Earth's history. After his second defeat, Master Vile summoned the Orb of Doom, which he used along with his powers to turn back time on Earth, turning the Rangers into kids and rendering them completely powerless. Zordon determined that the only object capable of restoring the Earth and the Rangers' powers was the Zeo Crystal. While Billy, who was the only one to have at this point regained his age, volunteered to go. Zordon explained that the crystals would only respond to those still affected by the time reversal. Thus, Zordon sent the 5 Child Rangers through time and space to find their Zeo sub-crystals. With the reunited Zeo Crystal in the hands of Good, Billy used a device he constructed powered by the crystal itself to reverse Vile's time spell. Shortly after time was restored, Goldar and Rito Revolto, who had managed to infiltrate the caves beneath the command center and get past the only those with power coins can enter limitation, stole the reassembled Zeo Crystal and escaped just as an implosion device that they had previously set went off. Goldar and Rito, after stealing the crystal, lost it through unknown means. It was then later found undamaged amongst the wreckage of the command center. After the command center was rebuilt as the power chamber, Zordon once again divided the Zeo Crystal into 5 subdivisions to power his new team of Rangers. Billy then chose to step down as there was only 5 parts of the crystal and 6 Rangers. He became a technical advisor. The remaining 5 Rangers became the new Zeo Rangers. Billy later mentioned that the energy from Pyramidas, which was the Zord of the Gold Zeo Ranger, matched the energy of the Zeo Crystals, suggesting that the Gold Ranger also had a Zeo subcrystal. What became of the Zeo Crystal following Good as Gold has never been explained, although Tommy was later able to use his pair of Zeonizers to become the Red Zeo Ranger in the episode Forever Red, as well as the other 4 Zeo powers being used in the finale of Super Megaforce. Additionally, when Tommy faced his white Mighty Morphin Ranger self in Fighting Spirit, he reasoned that this should be impossible since the original power coins had been destroyed by Rito and the ninja coins had been destroyed by Zed and Rita. However, he didn't make any such reference to the Zeo Crystal being lost when he faced his Zeo Red Ranger self, implying that I guess it should be possible to access his Zeo powers, but just not at that current time. He then of course later went on to somehow incorporate his Zeo sub-crystal into his master morpher, allowing him to morph into the Zeo Ranger 5 Red whenever he needed. Okay, now that we've got the TV show story out of the way, let's talk about its origin, given to us by the great writing team at Boom Studios. Obviously, there will be spoilers ahead here for the latest few issues of the Mighty Morphin series. So, over 10,000 years ago, the crystal is being kept at Bandora's palace. At first, Zordon and the other Guardians of Altar point out that the Zeo Crystal is purely a piece of the morphing grid, explaining why it's so powerful and how it can access the grid naturally. But then Zordon offers up another story, one that is potentially just a fairy tale, but interesting nonetheless. According to the legends of Altar, a long time ago, the Morphin realm was under the control of an evil chaos demon named Vitara. This demon fed on the energy of the morphing grid. It was constantly consuming the life-giving energy of the grid, so no other life could emerge in the universe. But then a warrior god named Zeon heard the cries of the first beings of life that clung to existence to vanquish the beast. Zeon engaged in a great battle across creation, trading blows with Vitara. Neither seemed to gain an advantage until Zeon seemed to collapse from exhaustion. However, this was all part of the plan, and as soon as Vitara went in for the kill, Zeon grabbed a crystal shard and stabbed the demon's heart. This placed all the energy that the foul beast had consumed into the shard itself, forging the first Zeo Crystal and restoring the morphing grid energy to flow freely, allowing life in the universe to blossom and grow once more. This story is eventually waved off by Zofram as a fairy tale, but as we now know, again, spoilers, Zofram turns out to be, well, let's just say a pretty bad guy. I can cover that in a future video if you're interested. So who knows, perhaps the fairy tale is actually the true origins of the Zeo Crystal. I'm certainly going to pretend it is, as I like the story. What do you guys think of this origin story? Does it work in your opinion, or do you prefer it just simply being a pure piece of the grid? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to pick up this month's issue of Power Rangers. It looks like my favourite character, Lord Draken, is finally making a comeback. I am excited. Again, let me know if you want me to cover that story in a future video as well. I'll take any excuse to make more Draken videos. Anyway, that's it from me today, my friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. May the power protect you, and I will see you next time on the 6th Ranger.